Hey everybody, welcome back to 6 Straight V8. Today we're going to be doing an oil change on my grandparents' 2005 Nissan Xterra. This how-to is going to be good all the way up to 2010, I believe, where they changed the locations on certain things on the Xterras. This one's four-wheel drive, but today we're just going to be doing the oil and the air filter. These are going to be the part numbers that we're going to be using today. Air filter 7440. STP 7317 extended life filter, and we're going to be using the synthetic high mileage 530 from STP today as well. So we're going to go ahead and put this baby up on some ramps, start draining on the oil, and go from there. Alrighty, so now that we got the vehicle jacked up, we're going to remove one of these 10mm screws on the passenger side of this little sight plate here in front of the skid, on the front skid plate, because on these 4-liter Nissan V6 engines, they put the oil filter on the front side of the block. So I already popped this loose and I'm letting it drip a little bit. So I'm going to finish popping it the rest of the way and hopefully not get 5 gallons of oil in my face. Stay tuned. What a friggin' mess. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. I forgot to grab my... there we go. And yummy.
So you just pop that down, and we're hoping that...
Oh, baby. A triple.
Not 5 gallons, but that'll do.
Yeah. I honestly feel like they just really hate their technicians and the people who buy their vehicles if they're going to put that thing. Because I'm an American. I'm not a Japanese child. I'm not going to stick my hand up in there and just magically be able to boop in one fell swoop. So now that we let this drip out a little bit, we'll go on to the drain plug here in a second. We're doing things in a slightly different order of operations today, just simply because the filter's in such a strange position. I wanted to highlight that first. I went ahead and wrote the miles that it was at today when we changed it. So this filter's supposed to be good for 10,000 miles, but we would probably change it before then when it hits the 5,000 mark. So we're gonna pop our hands back up in our Japanese punishment hole. I can't even see what the fuck I'm doing. There we go. Be sure to bleep that when we're editing. Whoever did change the oil last at Meineke actually did us a favor. They didn't over torque it, which is the only good thing they did, because they honestly ridiculously overcharged my grandparents for what was a simple oil change. But after having to stick my hand in this Japanese murder hole to get the filter on, I'm almost not blaming them. Now, after I clean my shame here, we'll go ahead and put our little bolt back in our cover here. Start threading it by hand. And take All right, now on to the grain. You still filming?
Yep.
Oh, it's not 12 millimeter. It's not 13. Don't tell me it's standard size. That'll make me angry. Oh, 14 millimeter. Okay. We're going to be changing out this drain bolt for the correct factory Nissan replacement. We got it AutoZone. It's going to be part number 653056. And it's got the factory style O-ring that we're going to need as well. So, not O-ring, but washer. Same damn thing in this circumstance. So we're going to take our 14 millimeter and we're going to hope to God this thing isn't red Loctited in. And flex heads are probably the wrong tool to be using, trying to untorque something, but at the same time, oh my God.
Is it righty tighty, lefty loosey, or are we just wrenching on this thing for?
Should be what I should be going lefty loosey. Shouldn't I?
Okay, yeah, you're good.
Oh yeah, baby. You about ready to be in the splash zone, buddy.
Normally, when I'm taking the drain bolt off, I'll be wrenching on it, putting pressure on it, and in my head, I'll just be kind of like, I can't get it, no. And then when it finally breaks, and you're pushing against it, and you kind of catch your breath as it finally breaks for you. Satisfaction.
I can't get no.
Alright, settle down there, Aretha.
That ain't Aretha. That's the Stones, fucker.
I know it's the Stones, but the way you did that kind of had an Aretha,
bruh,
kind of soul sister vibe.
Hey, sister, soul sister. That's Redbone.
I know.
God, have you no culture?
You forget, I'm ADHD. I bounce around like run around Sue. See, we're hitting a whole bunch of generations today.
This is what we do on our free time on Saturdays before we both have to go to work.
Yep.
If you're wondering where the updates on the Mustang or the Dart are, don't worry, they're still coming. But we've ran into some technical issues that still need resolved. So just stay tuned on that. And you'll have a treat.
One.
All right, now that she's only dripping a little bit, we're going to go ahead and put the new drain bolt back in her.
Mr. Rogers always said, can't fake the shake.
What?
It's a real quote. Look it up.
You leave Mr. Rogers' name out, show a dirty mouth.
It was Mr. Rogers After Hours.
You know, this thing almost feels like they stripped out some of the threads.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Which I'm hoping is not the case. It just felt way too gritty trying to find that hole. So,
Well, you're probably a little too far back.
well, no. In the future, we might be replacing this tiny little bottom part of the oil pan. But for now, we're going to go ahead and torque this down with the mighty American righty-tighty, lefty-loosey.
If you hit righty-tighty and then righty-loosey, you've gone too far.
But in this case, we're going to go just about a half turn past where it feels firm. And now we're going to go back up top. All right, so on the 4-liter Nissan V6 engines, the oil fill point is right here on the driver's side where I got this funnel in. Cap's got an O-ring on it, so just be aware there is a little bit of oil that comes off with the cap when you usually take it off, because it's usually under a little bit of crank pressure, especially after you've been running it. So we're going to take our STP dinosaur juice, except this is synthetic dinosaur juice, and we're going to dump her on down the gullet.
The mighty Impostosaurus.
That's a good one. I like that one, Gary. The Impostosaurus.
Oh no, the dad jokes. It is true.
Hey, you ain't got no kids yet, me. But if you do, if anybody lives in the Treasure Valley, Magic Valley area and wants to maybe have their car featured, more than willing to try to meet up for a collab at some point. Been a little bit slow on some of our content because we work 40-hour days. Or 40-hour weeks, 80-hour weeks in some cases. But we got some stuff coming along with the Dart and the Mustang. We got a friend's Civic that's got a tune that we're going to be doing some stuff with. The big red truck behind us, my 71 F-250. Some more stuff coming with the Cobalt, because I think I'm going to do some modifications to it. And some of our other friends' cars as they need some service. As I just spilt some oil. Oh, senpai, you give me too much. So now we got our Earl in here, as the Great Vice Grip Garage calls it.
Goodbye, Earl.
Okay, Dixie Chicks. So now we're gonna go ahead and back this up off the ramps. Now we got our oil in here. And then double check on the dipstick after we've ran it. Make sure everything's looking good. Then we'll get to swapping out the air filter. All right, so now that we cycled the engine, when you first start it up, it's going to show an oil light, but then it goes away on this one. It doesn't have an oil life reset, so here in a second we're going to be putting a sticker in the window to mark about when the next service should be, and then should be good to go. We're going to go ahead and pull the dipstick, and it's going to sit somewhere between this here and here. It was sitting right in that bubble there, so that's adequate. This has a 5.4 quart capacity, so usually doing about 5 quarts is about what any of the auto parts places or auto oil change places put in them. So we should be good. We didn't hear any bad pinging or anything like that when we fired it up, so we know that our oil is going back in the spot that it needed to go. So now we got the oil taken care of on these Nissans. It's pretty easy to get to the oil filter, or the air filters. My bad. I'm autistic. Give me a break. We're gonna pop these 2 tabs off here, and from there we can lift the air box up out of our way and swap out our filter. This one is of an indeterminate age, so we're gonna pull that out of there. We're gonna grab our STP filter You can definitely tell this one's brand new. It's not even yellow yet. I'm gonna slide it down in here, make sure the gaskets mate with the surfaces correctly. They have like a little groove in them. Good. Oh, now I'm sounding like Kris Fix. Now, the most important part is getting these back tabs lined up in the airbox correctly. It's not going to be perfect, but it should line up just enough like that to make a halfway decent seal. That's gonna wrap it up for this video here. We're gonna go ahead and drive around the block, just make sure everything's good to go for my grandparents, and then we'll catch you on the next episode of our wonderful YouTube channel.